Fans of KirkFrost and Yandy Harris have witnessed their ongoing turmoil and growing tensions throughout their love and hip-hop careers, but you won't believe the real story. These two, who don't seem to be able to agree, have been at each other's throats for years. The wife of Yandy Smith finally had a candid, unrestrained discussion about their conflict. This conflict extends well beyond the small arguments and the fact that BCS and Kirk have been on reality TV together for a long time, and at one point they even had some respect for each other. Rest assured, this is not what you might assume, but things started to go wrong as time went on and their notoriety increased. What's shocking is that Yandy, who has always tried to maintain her objectivity and be her family's glue, has finally snapped and revealed the unvarnished truth about the reasons why they can't resolve their problems. It's been an ongoing battle with neither side willing to admit their shortcomings or efforts over their problems. It's not only about the on-screen personal drama. It's about deep-rooted hostility, egos, and perhaps misguided commitment. Of all this, the most absurd aspect is that Kirk's issues stem from something far more significant than envy or small miscommunications. Yandy's disclosures demonstrate how profound it differs from all the other celebrity feuds you've heard about, though, since family is involved. It is about their family's companies and sense of self-respect, and it is not just two men buying attention. Their unwillingness to accept each other has impacted their relationships at work and in their personal lives. Stay in to learn how far this conflict goes, as Yandy has now come forward and disclosed the real reasons behind their turmoil. At the beginning of our professions, when Kirk and I first met, everything looked to be going well. Both of them were putting a lot of effort into starting their careers and making a name for themselves in the music business. But circumstances changed over time in ways that no one could have anticipated. We have all seen the love and hip-hop jibs between N and Kirk Trey. Their competitiveness for the job and small disagreements are not the real reasons behind their enmity. This is a narrative that may not conclude as you had anticipated. At the core of their conflict are their own feelings, concerns, unresolved issues, and betrayals. The truth is far more nuanced. Yang claims that Mendeecees has always been annoyed by Andy Kirk's personal ambition and drive for greater things for himself and his family. Mendeecees believed that Kirk, a seasoned expert in the field, was trying to constrain Mendeecees and limit his vision rather than assist him. Crucially, Kirk was viewed as a rival as much as a mentor, and the closer they got, the more Mendeecees believed Kirk was attempting to hide his genius. The narrative is distinct from other celebrity feuds in this way. Was still embroiled in the drama of his own family. Their power struggle swiftly ruined their connection. There were good grounds for both Kirk's and M's feelings, but Kirk, who had experienced his own set of challenges, wanted to go on, secure his future, and show his family that he didn't require Kirk's forgiveness. While he believed he was offering guidance, Mendeecees interpreted it as a kind of manipulation. The most absurd aspect of their vicious war, which never truly stopped, was that it extended beyond their economic rivalry into their personal lives, exposing that some of their arguments were caused by destiny took an unexpected turn when Yandy, who had long attempted to play the part of peacekeeper, decided to speak up and tell what had been simmering beneath the surface. Her insight into their tense relationship allows us to see why these two men were unable to put aside their differences. Not your normal celebrity quarrel. This is the tale of two individuals with a past filled with miscommunications, conceit, and unhealed wounds. Play for their future. Is Kirk their rival, or will they ever be able to iron things out? Mendeecees and Kirk are at odds over more than simply rivalry or commercial success. It's a personal one. As more is revealed about their past, it becomes clear that the betrayals they have endured are what have truly driven these two men's relationship, which has always been complex. However, their personal lives turned into a battlefield when Kirk's personal problems began to affect their business dealings. Strangest of all, trust is at the heart of this, not simply words or deeds, but trading wasn't just about. When things went wrong, Mendeecees felt alone because he couldn't help but feel that Kirk wasn't there for him when it was needed most. Kirk was supposed to be a buddy who would support Mendeecees, who has had his share of legal hassles and a history that he has been trying to avoid. It appeared that Kirk used his personal issues as a pretext to remove himself rather than provide assistance. It wasn't simply about arguments or business mistakes, but this is what makes the narrative special. As Kirk struggled with his own problems, he perceived M's ascent as a reminder of his own purported failings, and his ongoing engagement in family matters made him feel as though his objectives and profession weren't being emphasized. Such complaints were not trivial. They were part of a long-running struggle for respect and acceptance. Their betrayals went beyond business choices, which is even more appalling. In addition, Kirk's persistent problems with his wife Rashida and the gossip circulating about their union also made a substantial contribution to the wry, as did Kirk's petty efforts to mend his personal relationship. He began to wonder about Kirk's morality and whether he could truly give him wise counsel after he failed to even solve his own wife's problems. Despite all of his complaints, he always looked up to Kirk, which is why the betrayal stung him so much. It appeared to him that Kirk was too preoccupied with his own problems to provide the type of direction he needed. Kirk, he believed, would be the most able to relate to his wish to overcome his past and become great, but instead his relationship. Yandy finally came out and disclosed the toll that their regular disputes had placed on her relationship with M, his wife, whom she must cope with, despite the fact that it is evident that the situation has strained their union in ways that fans were not completely aware of. Additionally, she discussed the emotional efforts she has made to keep Mrs. and Kirk's marriage and relationship harmonious. Because Maine and Kirk's rare public appearances on social media have transcended their private lives, you won't believe how much this drama has intensified not only between them, but also between the fans themselves. Mendeecees' ardent supporters are on one side, and each interview and post-conversation seems like a chance for these two to attack one another, saying that Mendeecees has always been misinterpreted and that it will only be a matter of time before he reclaims his rightful place in the business. Conversely, Kirk's supporters contend that Kirk is merely a drunk who has become entangled in his own marital problems. These fans are outspoken and praise everything from Kirk's marital issues to men's legal issues on social media. But what's even more incredible is that according to fans, he should never have crossed Kirk in the first place, and I should stay in his lane. They are continuously tracking down old interview transcripts, behind-the-scenes films, and even social media posts that provide more context for the conflict than what has been shown on television in an effort to make the connections between these two men's words and deeds. The online commotion has simply stoked the fires, from overt taunting to more subtle jabs, and it now appears that there is no way to avoid the public pressure. However, the media is crucial in maintaining the consistency of the personal drama that Kirk and the other DCs want to maintain, which is where things get interesting. This tale differs from other celebrity food stories in that it's not only about Kirk and me, rather, it's about how their fans have intensified the conflict and begun investigating it on their own, sharing theories and speculating about the real reasons behind the conflict. As the public's expectations for answers increase with each new incident and public appearance, tabloids, blogs, and gossip sites seize up every new piece of information about LoveAndHipHop, and the questions keep flowing. Neither of them can avoid the opinions and criticism of others, as if the fans had entered the story. Feud is the theory that their public reputations are now bound up with their private lives. Whenever one of them receives criticism, I wonder if this conflict is genuine or only the product of the fan and media frenzy, whether they like it or not. Both of them are unable to back down when they are embroiled in a scandal or a challenging interview because the public drama is so loud and volatile that it seems like everyone is watching them every step. The fact is, though, that Mace and Kirk have not discussed certain facets of their personal problems, despite their regular back and forth. Haven't given us all the details of their arguments, so we're left wondering how long this can go on, whether Kirk and Mendeecees can continue to let the fans control the narrative, or whether one of them will come clean and tell the truth. After Yandy Smith finally exposed the underlying conflict between KirkFrost and me, let's face it, despite all the excitement, the fans are more ready than ever for the whole truth to come out. This feud is made even more unexpected by the high stakes and the drama created by the public's involvement. The horrifying realities that are becoming apparent will astound you, demonstrating the extent of long-standing animosity. Jealousy and unresolved conflict are the root causes of the much more complicated drama between these two. Behind the scenes, they both portray themselves as mature guys attempting to handle their affairs, but the reality is very different. Kirk and I have actually been engaged in a power war for years. As proud men, they are both attempting to earn respect in a society where many people simply discuss what they have seen on television. They have been fighting for the same recognition and the same job in the sector, which makes it difficult to obtain. The way that M has achieved success and gained notoriety intimidates him, and he can't help but feel that Men's potential is surpassing his veteran status. However, he believes that Kirk is constantly attempting to stop him or steal the show, which has only made him more irate and agitated. He has been concealing some of his own deep-seated anxieties, though, which is strange. Yandy talked about his fear of being compared to Kirk, particularly in regards to fatherhood, since Kirk shows off his family for everyone to see, and I couldn't feeling as though his own family situation was being scrutinized. Shake's best buddy Yandy disclosed that this continual comparison is the source of some of their most intense disputes, particularly on their duties as partners and fathers. The intriguing aspect is that Kirk wasn't exactly being truthful in private, while I was preoccupied with his work and fatherhood. Kirk was supposedly making fun of missed accomplishments. Let's now discuss what sets this story apart from other feuds. There is a solid line between right and wrong, and even asking if he is capable of fathering has only made their relationship more intense. The most absurd aspect of this situation is that Yandy revelations have now exposed things that they were both too afraid to talk about. They have been holding grudges for years, and the strain of suppressing them is beginning to wear them down. It appears that none of them can halt the snowball effect that these revelations have generated. But who is wrong? They are dealing with deep-seated rivalries, feelings of betrayal, and concerns that go far beyond a mere fight. What has surfaced about Kirk and my continuous drama is unbelievable. It goes beyond a few on-camera altercations and furious and includes years of unresolved rivalry, jealousy, and pride. Now, Yandy Smith, who has been through it all, has opened up about what has been happening behind closed doors. Despite the public drama, Kirk and Mendeecees seem unwilling to compromise, mired in their own issues and pride. Resolving this will not be simple. In fact, it may worsen before improving. Mendeecees and Kirk's doors, and I can promise you that this is not the drama we initially believed it to be. Kirk and Mendeecees' relationship has been strained for a long time, and it's not just because they both have ingrained anxieties that no one has yet to truly comprehend. But Yandy disclosed some startling details that gave fans a better understanding of why their disagreements never seem to stop, why they are unable to find peace, and why things keep becoming messier. I'll tell you how it all began when the two guys came to respect each other's accomplishments. KK has been in the spotlight because of his family, hustling, and reality TV role. Dynamics. The two were engaged in a never-ending struggle for respect and approval from peers and the outside world even before M entered the picture. Kirk's jealousy has been boiling for years, and he's always believed that Mendeecees is trying to outshine him and that he's not getting the recognition he deserves. Now rivalry extends beyond TV drama and is steeped in pride and power conflicts, but now is where it becomes personal. Yandy made it apparent that both males have been playing games in the background, which is interesting. What's even more bizarre is that viewers didn't realize that Kirk and I were arguing about more than simply Kirk's veteran status, which has hindered his personal growth. Regardless of whether it's a family or corporate issue, Mendeecees has been battling self-doubt. It's not about right or wrong, but rather ego. Both of them have been so preoccupied with gaining the admiration of their peers that it has led to ongoing tension between them. They were arguing over who would be the alpha male in their group. Due to Yandy's constant efforts to persuade these two to set aside their pride in order to prioritize their family and business, the story is unique. She eventually acknowledged after years of trying that she doesn't think they'll do this, which is perilous when it comes to guys who don't give up. Destiny took a dramatic turn when Yandy disclosed the startling reality that Kirk's persistent criticism and demeaning actions caused him to doubt his dedication, even though MCs were the Mendeecees had traditionally looked up to as mentors and trustworthy individuals. As it happens, men felt duped by benefits, and their behind-the-scenes behavior was not limited to the screen. It was personal also. He chose to discredit M rather than stand by him because he was intimidated by his reputation in the reality TV industry. Men's irritation with Kirk was a slap in the face, which is even more shocking. The key takeaway from this is that Mendeecees and Kirk's dispute goes beyond small arguments. Rather, it is a fight for affirmation, respect, and approval, which further complicates their relationship. Although Kirk ought to have supported him, he decided to downplay his achievements, calling them a reality TV gimmick. Uncovering their secrets will help put the drama in perspective, and it will continue until the end of the year. Although these two men are more alike than they are prepared to acknowledge, they are fighting for the same cause. Nevertheless, their methods could not be more dissimilar, and this drama will not be finished until they settle their own internal issues. Both of them are not ready to supply